A little bit there. That's it.
Are we good? Are we good? Yeah. Okay. October Red Boxing. I like this. I feel like a rose.
sandwich.
I feel like a rose between two thorns because we've got Sky Sports on one side and DAZN on the other.
That's right.
Welcome.
We got my brother on one side,
Oh,
my brother on the other.
And-
It's funny because everyone, you know, I've been doing those face-offs.
Yes.
That I did the Ben Eubank and a couple ones, and I ain't gonna lie, I watched all of these guys back to back because this is the OG of it, the OG of it. Everyone says, "Oh, Addy, new Johnny Nelson." I was like, impossible. Can't be the new Johnny Nelson. I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to
When
learn.
you're doing it, it's the same thing. You understand when these guys are there. If it kicks off, you got to think, well, you got to feel the heat. And I see you doing it. I'm thinking, all right, you're all right, man. You're doing all right. Honestly, you're holding it down.
See, the thing is, when Johnny does it,
They're respectful to you as well. Yeah.
but when Johnny does it, Johnny's a former world champion. I'm doing it, and I had a couple of amateur fights. I'm thinking, if this kicks off, I've got a problem. But so far, so good. What's going on, Ben? Ben Shalom, how's he doing? Don't like I don't do the real stuff, Ben. Get out of here. Get out of here. I know you want to talk to me after as well.
Yeah, but it's good. It's good. You know what? It's about representation. If you know what I'm talking about, and I actually like what we're seeing. I actually like the influx of representation on all across the board with boxing. So to me, that's how it should be. You know, so you can tell it's a different era now. It's a different era where they're getting right faces on camera.
We like it, and it is really positive. And like you said, it is a good representation. But we're gonna get down to the crux of it because we are here for the boxing event. It's all about. Oh my God, there's another one. Oh my days. You know what? If you come on here as well, we're gonna get the government looking at us. They're gonna think we're trying to arrange some shit, and I don't actually care.
As Brenda would say, one black's all right, two all right, black's all right, but three, it's a mugging party. Yeah.
Oh, well there you go. You got it from the man himself. We're not going to get into we're not going to get into that. We're going to talk boxing. So first of all, we've got obviously Sky Sports representation, but this card is the very first card that Sky Sports, Boxer, Wasserman, DAZN are working together. Ade, talk to us about that because this is a new experience for you.
Yeah, I was surprised when they said, Ade, get up to Manchester. I was like, what's going on? Then they said DAZN have got the international rights. And one thing I always said about DAZN entering this market that's been dominated by Sky for so many years, I said, look, we need to show that we aren't just Matchroom FC. Like, we need to go and cover every event as well. So you put on Queensbury shows next week, Yard Baturbiev, we should be there. It's a massive fight card, you know what I mean? This one, we should be there. Liam Smith, Eubank. So it isn't just a case of covering Matchroom shows. Obviously, Matchroom's the broadcaster, Matchroom's the promoter, I get that. But as the broadcaster of boxing, DAZN should be everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. We should be everywhere. So sometimes I'm at home watching these ones, I'm jealous. I'm like, I want to be there. I want to be at these events. Why am I not at these events, these presses at least? So, it's good to be here. And I feel like that's one thing DAZN have to do going forward this year. Because you think of Ak and Barak in America, they go to the PBC shows,
Right.
They go to the Showtime shows, they go to all the top ranked stuff. It isn't just DAZN. So I feel like that needs to kind of happen over here now.
You hit the nail right on the head. I think if you're talking about boxing, you're talking about boxing across the board, not just for one channel or the next channel. Fight is a fight is a fight. A fighter that could be with his own, could be with Sky next week. You need to be able to follow these boys and understand the story. So actually, when he's up there, I'm like, I smile and went, yes, all right. And because I've been around a long time, you know, so this
Really?
never used to happen. It never used to happen. If it was a Mickey Duff show, it was a Mickey Duff show. That was it. Frank Warren show, it was his show. It was Barry Hearn, he was probably one of the first ones to try and mix up a little bit. Then Eddie came along, and Eddie just flipped it over. But now, you know what, Ben, you know, to say, look, let's all try and work together. I love that. You know, it's a sporting business, you know, and at the end of the day, people want to watch the boxing. And however you can get it sent out there to get more fans interested, it has to be done. So to us, the politics is not our problem. Our job is to get the message across.
And we talk about that, literally breaking down barriers. You know, like you said, credit to Ben. He's the first promoter that says, you know what, let's get DAZN in here. Let's get another broadcaster on board with this because we don't care about the politics. We don't care about what happens behind closed doors. We want the world to see Chris Eubank Jr. fight Liam Smith. We want to get the fighters out there. It's about the fighters. Talk to me, Ade.
They don't care what's happening when the door's closed in the boardroom. They care what they see. And that's it. And our job is to translate what they see. I don't care what's happening when the door's shut. Not my problem. Yeah. You know, and that's all it is.
Yeah, I feel like fans over the years have become too invested in all the politics behind boxing rather than just the fights. I grew up just seeing fights being made, not knowing what broadcaster was putting it on and this and that. And what we're seeing as well, we're seeing fight fans, Andy Lee just going past, what we're seeing as well, we're seeing fighters fight on different broadcasts. Like Eubank was going to fight on DAZN. Liam Smith fought on DAZN. So what we're seeing as well is fighters are not joining up into 10-fight contracts with a broadcaster. Now they want to go where the best fights can be made as well. So I think it's important that all the broadcasters come together, because as fans, I think we've got too invested in where this fight's happening and who's doing this and who's doing that. I just want to see fights. I grew up just wanting to see him fight. So hopefully, long may this continue and let this be something for the future. I know not every broadcaster is going to be happy about that, but let it happen.
It is what it is, but it's about moving forward. You know, we've got all the events coming up with the crossover boxing. That's put a bit of a taste. But however, it's still making people talk about
That
boxing.
pissed a lot of people off.
It
Can I
did.
say that on there? I don't know. Sorry, that
You
word.
can say what you want.
Yeah, it's upset a lot of people. You know what's funny about it though? When you go there, having been to boxing events and see all the madness that goes on behind the scenes, sometimes it's actually good to go to these crossover boxing and there's nothing. Just normal. You just go in there and the kids are having fun. They get in the ring. It's sold out arenas.
You can see the difference with the crowd as well. The people are there from 7 o'clock from when the
my
doors open.
days.
The parents are there with packed lunch with it for the kids, and they're like, "What is
was
going on
packed
here?"
from the start.
Completely different.
Couldn't believe it. When that happened, like you walk in, like when it first happened, KSI fought.
Yeah.
So I thought, oh, maybe it's because KSI came out first. He didn't come out first this time. It was Idris Virgo, by the way, professional fighter who's been fighting in front of 400 people. He came out, I saw his face, I was on stage with him, and he's coming out to 13,000. He's like,
You could see
what?
it.
Like, honestly, he was like, what is this?
They were cheering for him.
They're
like
cheering
the
for
whole
him.
came there.
Yeah, and he's probably thinking, wow. So that's one thing boxing needs to get, because let's be honest, until the main event, unless it's someone really big on the undercard, you're not getting it packed until the main event, and it's annoying.
But this is where today's boxers can learn from. Respect them or not, the YouTubers. They can learn from the YouTubers. It's about selling themselves as a package to get that fan base there. And it's not just about being a good fighter, because there's many good fighters that can't probably speak a word of English that don't sell one ticket. So you've got to be the whole package. It's not just about being a good fighter, selling yourself as a commodity, so people want to be there early, be invested in you. So like it or not, when you're seeing these YouTubers and these misfits doing what they're doing, they've got something right. They've got something that fighters, a fight game, can learn off. Which hopefully, I think probably Danny Garcia is probably one of those kids. Ryan Garcia is one of those fighters that I think
Yeah.
you are the crossover. You're the crossover, and Ryan gets it down to a T. And I'm like, fighters need to learn from him, and if they do, they'll make a lot more money, they'll be a lot more popular, they'll get a bigger fan base, but you've got to invest in yourself.
But then the counter argument to that is, and please correct me if I'm wrong, you're a professional boxer. You're grinding every day in the gym.
No,
You're
don't do it
working.
then. No.
You're working really hard. But now you've got to think about, I've got to get on camera and I've got to. Do you understand what I'm saying?
You don't have to do it. Just pay a little kid to just walk around and follow you, and put all your social medias up. Like in watching these misfits guys, they just all had cameramen. They weren't doing anything. They just had a cameraman with them, and all of a sudden, they got videos up on YouTube. They got a couple of posts on Instagram, TikTok. Pay someone to do it. I get you can't do it, but pay someone to do it.
That's a small lesson learned. That's a small little something. You know, you just mentioned it. He's explained that to me. That's a small little something that fighters can do. Get your friend to do. Get your brother, sister to do it. Follow him about the camera. Put it up. I remember, and I'm quite sure there's an amazing footage. Naz used to started getting his brothers to follow him around with a camera. He got Puff Daddy on there. He got Michael Jackson on there. But Mama's not done anything. When I'm thinking, yo, Naz, you know what? If you could even drop that stuff out now, you know, and that's behind the scenes stuff. So fighters have got to learn. And so that's probably years ahead of his time. So fighters have now got to learn. I know AJ does it, and I know one or two of them do it. But where's the footage? It needs to be out around the time when the fighter's there, just to get. There's no point in saving it for nostalgic purposes. Get it out there so people can see it.
We spoke on that. I'm going to go straight to the main card, because I know you guys have got to get off in a minute. I just want your predictions on who you think wins out of these pairs. So I'm going to go to you first, Ade. As a new guest, I'm going to go to you first.
Thank you.
A new guest on Boxer Soil.
I've gone back and forth on this one, which is why I love the fight so much. When it was first announced, I did say Smith, because I'm like a what have you done for me lately person. And I think Smith's looked really good under Joe McNally recently. And look, we haven't seen Eubank in the ring for, it's not his fault, but nearly a year. That was the Liam Williams fight. And even in that fight, he put Liam Williams down, and then I don't know if he ran out of gas or just ran out of interest, and it was like, I'm not quite sure what happened. But now, you know, he convinces you, Eubank. He does the talk, like, again, on the face of, when he does that talk and he starts, I'm like, so, take my money, Eubank. So I feel like it's going to be a very fast 5 rounds for Smith. If he can still be there, Smith, after the first 5, which I think he will, he always comes on strong. It takes a long time to oil those limbs, but he gets there, doesn't he? So if he's there, down the stretch, I think he might nick it on points. Might nick it, but Edit this out if I'm wrong, yeah? Edit this out.
No edits, no edits.
You know what? I agree with you, Ali. I actually was like you. Up to Wednesday, I said Smith. I thought Smith has far too much technical ability as a fighter, far too much depth in knowledge and experience. He's been there. He's been to the top of the mountain. But timing is everything. So Wednesday, I'm looking at a few videos, I'm reading a few notes, I'm like, nah, man, Johnny, wait, you might see, he's a champion killer. Because what he does, a champion slayer, because what he does is he'll get fighters that are past their best, like James DeGale, gone in there, look at what he did to Abraham, and his pace, his fitness, his energy, plus with his minimum boxing knowledge compared to them is enough to beat them at that stage of their career. Liam is not the fighter he was. He'll admit that himself. So he's coming down slowly. But is timing right? So if he's going to be a champion slayer, this is going to be one of the toughest champion slayers he's going to do. But I actually think he outworks him. Both fighters have got an amazing heart. Both fighters have got so much pride invested in this. His problem is, as a Eubank, is the respect. Other fighters struggle to respect him how they should respect him because he's the son of Chris Eubank. Because they look at him thinking, you know what, you've got it handed to you. But actually, the boy can fight. And he's proved that. And because people underestimate him and disrespect him, thinking, you ain't got that, I don't care, you got this win, giving every reason why he's got wins, they go in there and they don't respect him. Liam doesn't want to do that. He's going to respect him as though it's Canelo Alvarez. And if he respects him like that, he wins. But you know what? When we did the gloves are off, and now he's talking, I think Eubank is the last kind of guy Smith would move with, and I think he struggles to respect him. I think he struggles to respect him how he should respect him, and that's why I think I'd go with Eubank.
Well, not long until we find out. Gentlemen, thank you so much for your time. October Red Boxing with the lovely Ade Oladipo.
Interview request going?
Bro,
Tough?
it's not going.
Not easy?
It's not. It's not going. The Fortress and the lovely Johnny Nelson.
I thought you forgot my name, man.
She did, but I can't lie.
No, I don't. I do that all the time.
For a second, there was a little pause.
I just got
You know what?
Johnny Nelson.
How can I forget your name when you're always like doing creepy things behind me and shit?
Johnny.
Hi, and thank you for watching October Red Boxing. Like, subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. You can also find us on Instagram at October Red Boxing and on Twitter, October Red UK. And remember, at October Red, we stay ready.